open at Untuckit with sharp new jackets and vests made for this season and beyond. You'll find all the right layers to keep you warm and looking sharp, including cozy sweaters, sweatshirts, and more. But hurry, fall weather won't wait, and neither should you. So don't miss the outerwear shop, open now at untuckit.com in more than 80 stores worldwide. Untuckit, shirts designed to be worn, untucked.
94.1 FM. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Dallas Cowboys are back to the 21-day practice window. Defensive tackle Perion Winfrey from the injured reserve. The Detroit Lions signed star edge rusher Aiden Hutchinson to a 4-year, $180 million extension, 141 of that guaranteed, while the Washington Commanders, well, seems like wide receivers Terry McLaurin is re-aggravated his quad injury and will miss next week's game.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That goal is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Appreciate y'all rolling through with me tonight, however you may be doing that, whether you are listening on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in and listening on sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're watching it live on YouTube, that is right. We are broadcasting all of our shows on YouTube. Just go there, search at SA Sports Star on your YouTube channel. Go ahead and like, subscribe while you're there. You can comment along with the show as it happens, or you can just feel free to call in the old-fashioned way at 210-656-ESPN, 210-656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Lots to conversate about today because, well, today it ends and why. Whether you're talking about what's going on with UTSA and Tulane, or Scott Woodward and his ability to pick the next coach at LSU as their AD, or whether it's load management. Everything seems to be coming to a head right now as we have the World Series going on. We have NFL and college football going on. We have hockey going on. We have college basketball about to start up for us. We've kind of reached that perfect solstice of everything in sports colliding together. Oh, yeah, and the Spurs happen to be a nice 4-0, looking to improve to 5-0 tomorrow when they take on the Miami Heat. So much to talk about, but of course, Jerry loves to steal headlines, and that's what he did yesterday as he was talking about that defense and the trade deadline. Well, the morning huddle with AJ and Rob, they were talking about that this morning.
I got some Jerry sound. Jerry.
Oh, what
talking
did Jerry say?
Talking to them boys up in Dallas. Jerry, here's what Jerry had to say about the loss to the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
We need to improve on defense. We need to stop those as much better than we did against Denver. Let's put it like this: our explosive plays. And that can be done by concentrating each position, down linemen, linebackers, continuing to see the action that the play action that's going on, and keeping your eyes in good places. I know this sounds technical, but it is technical. That's the way for us to improve, is to technically get better. We've got players that can do it, and it's not just one. But we need to improve in that area. We basically need to finish our box better over on offense. We let a lot of penetration come in from what we call the backside on an offensive play. All of those things, and I know it sounds like you're in a coach's meeting, but all of those things are the answers. It's not as bad as it looks, and it looks bad as far as the game Sunday, but it also has a lot of room for improvement for us to be where we want to be on defense. Offensively, we really had a bad day. We made a lot of mistakes. We didn't stay with our blocks. So again, technically, the way to improve this thing is to each position, each player zero in on his responsibilities.
This is something we've talked about a lot. Like, if it's not personnel, and it's not coaching, and it's not effort, what is it? Well, now you're hearing them say, well, there's technical things that our guys just aren't performing well.
I don't want to get technical on you, but we got to do this thing called blocking. I don't know. I'm going to use some coaches speak here. We need to block and hold those blocks. Am I losing you? Because there's another thing we got to do, and this is real technical stuff here. We're going to have to tackle. And tackling involves, I don't want to get technical on you, but we're going to have to bring them to the ground to stop their forward progress in a much better fashion. And the third thing, and I don't want to get technical on you, is we're going to have to matriculate the ball down the field on a more regular manner and complete these matriculations with a score and what we call in the business a touchdown. What? Yeah, okay, Jerry, you really describe what you need to do to win.
Well,
I'm with you.
You're describing the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. You got a little technically almost lost me, but I agree. You need to hold your blocks better, and you probably need to have a little bit of better of a scheme. What was that?
Here's Jerry talking about, and this is first of all, it's an important question. Secondly, I think Jerry's right in his answer on what the real problem is. They asked Jerry if trading Micah was to help the run defense, then why is the run defense worse than it was before Micah was gone?
We need a combination. We need to basically have better play from the linebackers, maintaining the integrity of your gaps, which the linebackers have to fill. The linebackers have to slide. And so they did a good job on us, Denver, the other day, and we did a poor job. So we've got to do better there.
Yeah.
Okay. This is now I've given a lot of grief to the front. We've talked about the front seven, and I've focused a lot on Kenny Clark and how crappy he's been because he was brought in with the expectation that he was going to be some sort of a savior to the run defense. But he's right that the linebackers are so dreadful. So I looked up where they're at in PFF grading.
Now, keep in mind, one of these linebackers was brought over specifically to play in Flus's system. He was his linebacker in Chicago.
So there are 80 guys in the NFL who have played enough snaps to be graded by PFF this year. The Cowboys have 3 of them that have played enough snaps to be graded. So out of 80, Jack Sanborn is the best of the Cowboys linebackers, and he is number 53 on the list. So the 53rd best linebacker is the Cowboys' best linebacker. The other 2, Shamar James, 73rd. Kenneth Murray Jr.
Most Cowboys go, Kenneth Murray Jr.? Who? He's played enough snaps.
Yeah.
Kenneth Murray Jr. I didn't know he got off work.
80
be able to do that.
Out of 80. Dead, the worst linebacker in the league.
Is that a surprise to Cowboy fan?
I was a little shocked that they that all 3 of their graded linebackers were in like the bottom third of the league. That's it. And I mean, to have 2 of them in the bottom 6, 7, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's real bad. And that's part of the problem. And the problem is, too, Eberflus is a linebackers guy. That's how he came up with the Cowboys. I don't know where the disconnect is happening and why it is so bad on the defensive side of the ball for the Cowboys. But we heard Jerry's response to, trading Parsons away, and the run defense is supposed to be a salve for that, and it didn't. Shoddy was actually asked today if they underestimated Micah's value or his impact for the defense, or if they overestimated the return they got for him.
Mike is certainly a great player. And we all know that. No one will ever point to the fact that Mike is not a credible player. But defense is about more than just one guy. I mean, like, some of our defensive struggles have not been because of one guy not doing the right thing, and it's not been, one assignment. It hasn't been one defense, whether it's man, zone, whatever. It's been, what team defense is about. I saw a crazy stat. Myles Garrett, somebody said, had 5 sacks last game and they lost. I mean, this is the ultimate team game, and defense, and the more I spend time over there, you realize, I guess, as the offensive guy, I just kind of always took it for granted because we had our own issues. But if you're not aligned perfectly in terms of your fits and things like that, it makes it really, really difficult. And so, again, I all respect to Mike. What a great player, but team defense is what we need to play better.
And while I don't disagree with that, if it's not just one person, if it is multiple cataclysmic failures on the back end, that speaks even worse to whether it's the coaching or the players. And it's one of the two. Either the coaches aren't coaching it right, or the players don't get it. And even if it's the players that don't get it, isn't it then on the coaches to simplify it to make it better? At some point, this all comes back to coaching. I understand we have to hold players accountable, but the coaches are dealing with the hand that they have. And that hand was supposed to include Micah Parsons. And here's what nobody is saying in the Cowboys. Yes, Micah made that much of a difference because of his impact and ability to speed up the clock. Because if the quarterback can't hold it all day, you can't have those breakdowns on the back end. If he's making them throw it faster than them sitting on routes to jump them, pays in interceptions. Micah makes everybody's job easier. And then when the offense gets off to a fast start and puts up points, Micah then feasts because they can't get the offense going because Micah is that dominant. And you heard Jerry say this all the time, looking for a war day. You need a war day to win the NFL. Well, he finally got one. And now we just traded him away. And you see from when Micah was here to without Micah, and you can look at that Green Bay game, and you can look at the games where they got beat. Yeah, they were run on. But that's not a Micah thing. That's a linebacker thing, as Coach Schottenheimer just pointed out. He keeps talking about their eyes and how they're too wide and they need to narrow their eyes. How they're in different fits and holes. And the wrong ones. That's what Micah never had, that Micah was able to mask because of how good he was. And everybody blowing him up because Jerry, whether it's his pride, his ego, or just his inability to do a deal the way it should be done in the NFL and take care of a guy early when he is a top of market player, or his incessant need to drag this into the media and then drag the player through the mud in the media before handing him a bunch of money and saying, look, we're good now. Not everybody's wired for that. Not everybody wants to be like that. And you're seeing the impact that a real war daddy has on the game with Micah Parsons. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. When we come back, RJ Ochoa, blogging the boys. He got to join the Blitz a little bit earlier today as they talked about Micah extending George Pickens and if the Cowboys and Jerry Jones will actually do anything at the trade deadline or not. That's all coming up right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to sasportstar.com now and register to win. sasportstar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's Breeders' Cup Weekend at Retama Park, Friday, October 31st and Saturday, November 1st. Admission is free on Friday and just $5 on Saturday, with gates opening on Friday at 10:30 a.m. and on Saturday at 10 a.m. Enjoy open concessions, great food, and non-stop racing excitement. Reserve your seat now for Saturday. That's Breeders' Cup Weekend, October 31st and November 1st at Retama Park off 35 South in Selma. Victory starts here at Retama Park Racetrack. Must be 21 or older to wager. Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, you'll find everything you need. More than 135 degree and certificate programs, online and hybrid courses, dedicated success coaches, and more from a top military and veteran trusted university for over 75 years. Classes start soon. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7, so you never miss a customer lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/sports. HIMS.com/SPORTS.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm. How can I help?
That guy pulled out in front of me out of nowhere. The police are on their way, but I'm really shaken up.
Don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. You made the right call.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck, call Davis Law Firm at 444-4444. We're ready to help day or night, and there's no fee unless we win.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Let's get wild.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. Appreciate y'all rolling with me. Renji on our YouTube live says Parsons would not have made a difference. Probably would do well individually, but as far as the team, look, I think the team would be better, but they would have the same issues. The teams that could bully them, that could run the ball at will, like we saw Green Bay do them in the postseason, would. And those would be overarching issues, but they would be very good and beat up on a bunch of teams on their schedule. Justin Elizondo asking, he won tickets on the morning show this week, filled out everything Monday. When should I expect the tickets? What game's it for? There's a lot of information that goes into that. You should get an email that keeps you up to date with stuff like that. And if you have any information, you're going to want to call the front office. Ask for promotions, and they will help you out with everything you need to know, because once it leaves here, we're not in charge of that anymore. That all we do is get the information and give it to them. We have nothing to do with the tickets once they get here, get sent out, how they get sent out. We are alerted when they're sent out a lot of the times, but other than that, no. Earlier today on the Blitz, RJ Ochoa was talking with Jason and Joe as they get ready for more than Arizona. They get ready for the trade deadline, because this team is currently constructed, does not have the horses. But if you get back some players, if you get back a Deron Bland and a Wanye Thomas, and you start to get some players back at corner specifically, all of a sudden, maybe, boom, a trade or two can help you get there. But the biggest question is, will they make that or not?
RJ Ochoa, blogging the boys. What's up, RJ? You having a good hump day, my friend?
I am. Is that an apple on the NM?
Yes, it is. The Aggies get the apple for the week because they're only undefeated team in the SEC.
Wow.
All right.
Not the case for my Florida Gators.
RJ, so you're not back on the Aggies, huh? You, of all people, will appreciate this more. Rob left the apple in the studio on Monday, and Joe put it on the helmet, and it's still there. The debate between us is, has Rob even noticed that there's an apple on the Aggie helmet?
I would say no to answer the question. I'm shocked that Rob had an apple and at all. I wonder if it got there. If his wife snuck it in his lunch bag along with the note to have a good day.
No,
But,
in all fairness, Rob really does listen to Dr. Torres and that plan that he's on, and seen him eat apples and then, find a Pop-Tart or something, but he tries to mix in the apple because he's supposed to.
Well, that's not working because if he's seeing the doctor, he's clearly not eating the apples because if you eat one a day,
Well, here's the
Hey.
backstory, RJ. That was left here because Rob sits here during the morning show. It was set right there. So I put it up on the Aggie helmet, sat there for our entire show yesterday, and apparently their entire show this morning. So you may be right.
Hey, I mean, try an orange next time because if you can balance the orange, that would be the most impressive thing.
Well, it is apples and oranges, kind of like the Cowboys' offense and their defense. The great debate this week when it comes to the Cowboys and their ridiculously bad defense. Does Jerry Jones make a move by the trade deadline coming up on Tuesday?
I think so. I feel very confident that he will. I think that more than ever, I think it will be a please pay attention to us. Our relevancy depends on it. We are Tinkerbell. We need your applause to live. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't stand to reason. And I think a lot of people have asked me this week, like, how can you say that now? A week ago, you were leading the charge to do this. And it is a week-to-week league, but I would offer that was an important game against Denver. And nobody needs to overreact to a singular game, but the context of it matters really. The context being that was the best team the Cowboys have played this season, arguably. All due respect to the Eagles in week one, there's some weird nature that goes into the opening game, obviously. And so to not even be remotely close to them, I think has to be an eye-opening thing to where you maybe sober up a little bit and say, you know what, that idea that sounded great when we were dancing on top of the bar, maybe not so much once this second cup of coffee has kicked in. And so you've got to redial and reassess and readjust. And if you want to make a trade that is helpful in the future, by all means, I'm certainly open to that. But anything that is a quote-unquote all-in proposition would be irresponsible in my mind.
Well, I don't know if one player is going to get it done. Now, if Jerry makes a trade and brings in a guy that's going to be with him for a few years, I would be okay with that. But if he's just going to bring somebody in that's a rental for the rest of the year, I think that's a complete waste of time. But you do make a good point, RJ. I will say that Jerry wants the attention, and if they go out and make a trade of anybody, it's like, okay, we tried, and so give us some flowers.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I believe the Cowboys have a serious plan about anything, it's about making money and generating attention. And I wrote about this. I tweeted about it. They are about to dominate our lives from a television standpoint. Their next two games are on Monday Night Football, which is on both ESPN and getting the ABC treatment because they're the Dallas Cowboys. The next game is against the Eagles in the Sunday afternoon Fox game. America's Game of the Week is going to be watched by 1 billion people. And they do Thanksgiving on CBS. That's going to be the most watched regular season game of the year. A week later, 7 days later, they're on Amazon Prime's Thursday Night Football. 11 days later, they're on Sunday Night Football on NBC. Yeah, they get a normal noon game the week after at home against the Chargers, but then they're on Netflix against the Commanders on Christmas Day. So we're about to get not only a bunch of primetime Cowboys, but a bunch of island games, which is the only game on, the only show on at that particular moment in time. So everyone is going to see them. It's going to be 4 hours of people talking about the Cowboys nonstop. And there has to be coal to power that engine. And that coal might be Trey Hendrickson or who knows who else.
Well, and again, RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. When I don't know that it would be a Trey. I don't know that it's Max Crosby. I think those would be too expensive. But you look around and my goodness, either a linebacker or a safety. And anybody they bring in with a pulse is going to be an upgrade over what they have right now. And you're probably looking at spending nothing more than a fourth round or a fifth round pick. I saw Mike Tannenbaum was on ESPN earlier talking about the dude, Chubb from Miami, and he said a third and a fifth. And I was like, was he charging Jerry a tax? There's no way Chubb would be worth a third and a fifth. But I could see a move like that from maybe a fourth and a fifth because of the compensatory picks that they're going to have, and they will have an abundance of them because they always do.
Yeah, you adjusted your price to a fourth and a fifth, which is necessary because they don't even have their third round pick because they already traded that away in the George Pickens deal. And so you have to consider that. You have to factor that in. Of course, their first round pick from Green Bay looks like it's going to be 31 or 32, which is just, again, something that could only happen to them. But I think everyone knows. You joked about a Cowboys tax. I think everyone's looking at and saying to themselves, well, the Panthers got a fourth for Jonathan Mingo from these fools last year. I mean, the Niners got a fourth for Trey Lance the year before. So, I mean, I will not be shocked at all. I mean, it is completely and totally like them to overpay at this moment in time. You're right. It may not be for Trey Hendrickson, although Trey, look, I think there's still merit to the Max Crosby trade because you have him under team control effectively through 2029. So you can logic that out. But the Trey Hendrickson thing makes zero sense. That is a fully and totally we're trying here in 2025 thing, but he would obviously be an expiring free agent or a soon-to-be free agent, and therefore would be eligible to build a compensatory pick in 2027. And so that's kind of their style, but that would feel so just, unnecessary and ridiculous and sad. I mean, I feel badly for Jonathan Mingo that he's become synonymous with this whole thing, but that was purely and totally did you guys see my new hair? I painted my nails. I sprayed. It's a different kind of perfume. Yeah. What do you think right now, Joe? I mean, it's pathetic, and they're probably going to do something along those lines.
Was that a bad Chad Powers impersonation?
I haven't seen it. I've gotten a lot of positive recommendations, but
just that voice you went to felt like Chad Powers. Just moving on. Watch it. It is good.
I thought he was painting his nails was Caleb Williams. I don't know where he was going with that.
That's a whole different show. But the voice felt like you were trying to do a bad Chad Powers.
Yeah, RJ, I totally agree. I think the Trey Hendrickson smoke is just ridiculous. And I've never understood it at all when it comes to the Cowboys, because he's not going to help them improve that defense this year, nor will any one player. And that's the problem that you face. So Max Crosby, that makes sense to me if you want to do that, because as you said, they've got control of him for years. And that's what I'd be okay with the trade with a guy that's going to help them build for the future. Because with that defense, let's face it, I don't care how good the offense is. They're not winning a Super Bowl this year with that defense. It's not going to happen. I don't care what they add before the trade deadline. It's not going to happen. And I think the Denver Broncos may have given some other teams out there a game plan to kind of slow that offense down a little bit.
What's the game plan? Exist? Run?
Pulse.
It's yeah.
Show up.
Well, I'm talking about shutting down the offense, not the defense. They did a pretty good job on that offense.
I agree with that, although not everybody has, no pun intended, the horses that Denver does to be able to do that.
That's true.
But yeah, I agree with you that the Trey Hendrickson thing has to be smoke. It would be illogical. That's why it has to be Max Crosby, a verifiable, Jenga piece that you can slide in at the bottom. He's still capable to be slidden in at the bottom to help the foundation of this whole thing. Either that, the next best thing though, is seriously, honestly, to just take your medicine, to just shut the hell up and sit there and don't do anything, don't ruin these draft picks, and just, be patient for once and quit robbing Peter to pay Paul. Because I agree with you and Tyler, this defense is awful. You two know that, and I wrote about this as well, they've played 8 games, and in 5 of them, the opposing quarterback had a hat trick's worth of touchdowns. Very often they've had more than 3, to be clear. I know that Jason is impressed with my hockey vernacular with a hat trick, but that being said, that is already tied for the second most instances that this has ever happened against a Cowboys team in a season. If they do it one more time, they'll have tied the totals. Oh, no Dallas Cowboys defense ever has had this happen to them more than 6 times in a year, and these fools have 9 games left. So, they are not – this isn't exaggerating. This isn't being funny. This isn't being silly. They are quite literally among the very worst, sometimes at the very top of the very worst defenses in all of not just franchise history at this point in time, but NFL history. This is literally one of the worst defensive groups to ever play professional football. If we still want to use that term, I would be having to do so very liberally.
Well, they are getting paid, and they are historically awful. And that said, RJ, and I hear what you're saying, but if Jerry stands pat, that's a sign to the fan base that he's punting on the season. And he's 83 years old. He was on the blitz, what was it? I think two years ago when we were in Oxnard. And he talked about the one time that he kind of, I don't have, how many more seasons do we have left kind of deal. And he doesn't want to waste any. And so, he said that in not so many words, but he wasn't going to waste. If he doesn't, he's got an offense that is Super Bowl caliber. His defense, one player, two players doesn't make them Super Bowl caliber, but it gets them hanging around the rim, which is Jerry's goal in life when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. And if they're in, maybe things fall their way. I just have a hard time believing that at 83, Jerry would punt a season because his defense that he put together as the GM is historically awful.
Well, maybe it's because Jerry's mind is elsewhere, as reports have been breaking today, especially from RJ Ochoa of bloggingtheboys.com. You can see it there as well at RJ Ochoa on Twitter. Jerry Jones was doing an interview with the Wall Street Journal, and he has recently invested $1 billion into Comstock Resources with the goal of drilling into a new natural gas supply. Remember, he's a glory holer. He's a driller. He's an oil man. This is what he does. And when speaking on the investment, he brought up the potential massive return that he's dealing with. And in this interview said, quote, "There's $100 billion present value with gas out there. That's why I'm talking to you on the telephone rather than trying to fix our defense with the Dallas Cowboys," end quote. So is Jerry too preoccupied to fix this defense? And is this year just going to slip through their fingertips while the offense is playing at such an extremely high level? And it's playing at an extremely high level. Shoddy knows it's playing at an extremely high level, but it all doesn't matter because it's a team game.
Coaches, players, head coach, none of us have done good enough. That's real. Our scorecard is what it is, and that's not just, defensively, that's offensively. We're a football team that's 3-4-1. You can take the stats on offense and shove them up your ass. As far as I'm concerned, is what it is. We want to win, and people talk about, hey, MVP and this and that. Dak Prescott doesn't want to win MVP. He wants to win a Super Bowl, and that's what we want to win. And we're not there yet. We've not played that consistently well enough to certainly be in that discussion, but it doesn't mean the journey stops. It certainly doesn't stop. It just, you get more focused, you get more intentional, and we got to do it together.
Now, you heard the numbers about the defenders and the linebackers and where they are and where they rank from the morning huddle. Can DeMarvion Overshown's return help that? Or are they placing too much on guys like him and Revel coming off of injuries to fix a defense that, quite basically, may not be able to be fixed? There was Mike Nolan, then they stumbled into Dan Quinn, then there was Mike Zimmer, and now we're dealing with Matt Eberflus. Only one of those defensive coordinators had success in Dallas. The rest of them were less than a year tenured. This is Extra Innings with the Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. When we come back, San Antonio Spurs be looking pretty good as they try and make it 5-0 tomorrow night. What do we like about what we've seen? We'll get into that, break it down as we come back here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down! It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right. Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right, only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You know, I make decisions every day, but the easiest ones I've been making for the last several weeks are Dak Prescott. The more Dak is riding the wave, and I've been with him on Prize Picks, and being right can get you paid, especially when you're doing it on the weekly. Prize Picks has everything you need to have some fun on all your favorite games. If you like winning, you like to know what you're doing, Prize Picks is your answer because you can do the research and you can go out and win. And it's so simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players and you can get up to 2,000x on your money if you pick right. Now, they offer stacks is what I love. And you can pick the same player in up to 3 different venues and play them in the same lineup. And you can only find this at Prize Picks. That's why I go there every day. You want to know another reason? Alamo. Remember the code Alamo and you get $50 in lineups if you play your first $5 lineup. That's Alamo. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 in lineups. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Joel, don't you just love Halloween?
It's okay, but I do like your troll costume.
I'm not wearing a costume.
Folks, if your home's AC starts making those witching sounds or the pipes in your wall start moaning and clanging like ghosts having a party, call Quarter Moon at 651-5899 and we'll send our team of highly trained
Ghostbusters!
I was gonna say technicians.
I ain't afraid of no clogs.
Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, 651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
My name is Jessica. Years ago, I was diagnosed with a thyroid condition. I slept all the time, was fatigued, had no energy, and a bad attitude. Now I've lost 50 pounds and I'm still losing. My medications have been scaled back. My emotions are stable and I have lots of energy. People at work say I'm happy, perky, and my husband says he's not walking on eggshells around me any longer. The Institute for Functional Health changed my life.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Basketball season is back. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, block parties. Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action where you can make your picks and win money right now in Texas. Hi, Jason Minix here from The Blitz. I love playing on Underdog, where all you have to do is pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals. A guy like Wemby, blocks. Get your picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. Download the Underdog app. Use promo code STAR to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
The largest gun show in San Antonio is at the Shriner Auditorium this weekend. Texas Gun Shows is open this Friday from 4 to 7 p.m., 10 a.m. to 5 Saturday, and then 10 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Texas Gun Shows is at the Shriner Auditorium on 1604 this Friday through Sunday.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everything at I am Pledger. Follow the station at SA Sports Star. Earlier this morning on the Morning Huddle, the Spurs became the topic of conversation, and why wouldn't they be? Between Prop A and Prop B going on right now, so we need to go out and vote. We've got until Friday to get early voting before Tuesday becomes the last day we can get anything done. But Spurs off to this hot start, and how sustainable is what we're seeing out of the San Antonio Spurs?
We've had a lot of NBA talk for a day that the Spurs didn't even play.
Got the Heat coming tomorrow night.
The Heat come in tomorrow night. The Heat, who are so, I mean, I guess there's nothing better to say. They're a solid start to the season.
They're an ideal team to play early on because you have to play basketball. If you give them anything, they'll beat you. They take what you give them.
They are more than anybody a team that you can count on to be better than their talent.
Absolutely. If you don't execute, they'll beat you. They will, because they will out execute you. They're not going to make mistakes. They don't have the offensive firepower to exist like that, so they can't make mistakes. They keep it grinded slow. They protect the rim. They double shooters, and they block out like animals. So it's a tough win. You beat them when you walk out. You're not going to run away from them.
I was hoping to see Kasparas Yakashonis, that was their first round draft pick, the kid out of Illinois, who I liked a lot in college. I would like to see him there. He's dealing with injury. Maybe good news for the Spurs. It looks like Norman Powell is dealing with an injury too.
He's a spur killer too.
He didn't play in the last game. I think he leads them in scoring so far this year.
He's their new Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, he's the guy who's carrying all that weight. But they do have some bodies. Kel'el Ware is it's a big man.
Yeah, they've got the dudes. I'm a fan of Jaquez. I think, and Hero can get hot.
So we'll see. I'm not sure. I think Hero's out too.
Yeah, well, there you go.
They're it's a limited roster right now. So with no Powell, no Hero, no Yakashonis, especially in their backcourt's pretty depleted.
Didn't Bam hit a game winner against us last? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it's going to be Khalil Ware, Bam, Wiggins Jr.
That's going to be fun to watch.
Little Wiggins and Davion Mitchell.
I can't wait to see Victor pull Bam out to the 3-point lines and see some handles go on. I don't think that will be the best matchup for the Spurs. I would say I want to do it just once to see what happens. Just an ISO play where I get Wemby on one side of the court, all the other four on the other side, and watch Bam walk out and defend him at the 3-point line. Just see what happens.
I just want Wemby to stop being at the 3-point line. I just want him to.
I'm not saying take that shot. I'm saying do what he's been doing and crossing these big dudes up and headed toward the rim. I want to see if Bam at 6'8", 6'7", playing has the foot speed to defend him. I think he does. But if I'm Mitch and if I'm Wemby, I want to see. I'm gonna specifically call a play in the first quarter. Well, we're gonna ISO your ass. I want to see what happens with this, because it might be good. I think it won't be. I mean, maybe it might lead to a turnover, but at least Wemby will see if we do this again what you need to do.
But I really feel like that with Wemby, the biggest difference so far this year is, and this might sound harsh, but I don't care. Last year, when Wemby shot a 3, I felt like teams thought they were getting bailed out. And to go from shooting 9+ threes a game to shooting 3 per game is the biggest difference in what Wemby's offensive game is this year.
Well, I think I'm not going to hold last year against him. I think it was by design. It's one of those things, you got to go learn to do it, and we're going to suck and we're going to lose some games because you're not going to make a lot of them. But now you understand where it places in your full spectrum of your game. And it's still a thing. I think I want him taking 3-4 shots of that from that.
I'm
distance.
okay. 3 is the perfect number.
I want him out there. And if you hit your first 3, take another one. I don't have a problem with that. But because it draws the defender out, it opens up the lane, and lets Steph Castle's game get a whole lot easier. It makes it that much harder to double the shooter on the kick pass. It does a lot of things because you have the threat. But yeah, I think that last year was more of a, we're going to do 9 so you learn how to take 3. One of those. Yeah, I don't think that was ever the plan. I think the older he gets, he'll be playing closer and closer to the rim.
And that may be true. And that is still a part of his game. He hit a logo 3 the other day. That's always going to be a part of Wemby's game. But I think finding a way to make him play closer more consistently, leading to higher efficiency, has just taken his game to the next level. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. When we come back, more accusations at the UTSA Roadrunners as they get ready for a huge Thursday night game on ESPN. We'll discuss as we come back right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Arizona Cardinals for Monday Night Football. Pre-game at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam.
How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Blue Star Tequila, the world's first and only 100% night harvested agave. And you might be saying, well, why do I care when it's harvested? It allows the agave to be harvested while it's resting and out of the brutal heat. Benefits to workers who would normally work into the heat of the day. It's just better for the flavoring. And speaking of flavoring, it's 100% additive free. No flavoring, sweetening, or coloring added, and it's unfiltered. Live your life unfiltered and do it with Blue Star Tequila. Find Blue Star Tequila at Alamo City Liquors, Costco, Specs, and Total Wine.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
No, it's not too soon to start holiday shopping. Ulta Beauty's early Black Friday event is happening now through November 22nd. Shop $10 beauty minis from brands like MAC and Too Faced. Take 30% off Lancome and Touchland fragrances and body mists. With new offers dropping every week, our associates can help you find the perfect gifts. Head into Ulta Beauty today to shop our early Black Friday event. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you are 50 or older, it is recommended that you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're an adult 19 to 49 with certain underlying medical conditions like asthma, diabetes, chronic heart disease, or COPD, vaccination is also recommended. Talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protectyourself. Furnished by the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7, so you never miss a customer lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, turn your military rank into college credit. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Visit umgc.edu/SATX to learn more.
94.1 FM.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, and we've heard these insinuations before, but now with Tulane coming in on a Thursday night as UTSA gets ready for their blackout game tomorrow, Tulane head coach John Summerall uses a nice tried and true trope about the Roadrunners to deflect from his name being involved in head coaching issues surrounding LSU and Florida.
I don't want to address the stuff with our team in the season very much. So my way of addressing it to them is looking them in the eye and going, hey, no distractions. Everybody good? Good. Let's freaking get ready for practice. I'm not distracted by any of it. I'm trying to go 1-0 Thursday night. That's it. In a place that nobody in conference has gone into that place and gone 1-0 in 5 years. That's got my focus fully.
They're noisy there. I mean, it's noisy in that stadium.
Yeah.
Can you address that?
Yeah, we've practiced with crowd noise for a couple of days. Today was a walkthrough day, so we didn't. We'll have it back out tomorrow. I think they pipe some noise in. I think they do a good job. They do. If you watch like the European soccer or whatever, and they got those little sticks people bang, they got those things in the stadium. So they make some artificial noise, kind of like at Mississippi State. You play, they got the cowbell. It's a way to create more noise. I think they may pipe some in through the speakers. I don't really know. I don't think it's legal. I don't think anybody's investigating it. We just got to be ready to deal with it. So we should be prepared for it, hopefully. But I think that's helped them create a home field advantage for sure. It's been loud there for people.
Wow. Not once, but twice back to the well of they pipe in crowd noise. You guys go show them that it's not fake. Get out to the game this Thursday. It's a lights out game. UTSA, Tulane. Make Coach Summerall eat those words when they come to town. That's going to do it for me here tonight. Coming up next, we got the Cowboys Hour as James Houston will be the guest of honor on the Cowboys Hour this week. And then, of course, it's going to be followed by the Mike Elko Coaches Show with Andrew Monaco and Texas A&M head coach Mike Elko. That's all coming up right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Last year, we bought over 54,000 cars from your friends and neighbors. Why did they sell us their cars? Because we pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com. And why do we pay more? Because you and I both know that your car is worth more than others will offer you. And your time is worth more too. I'm John Clay Wolf, and I created GiveMeTheVin.com. Sell me your car faster and hassle-free because you're worth more.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can